Morty's roadside refreshments. Morty's roadside refreshments. Focus question. What lesson do Morty and his friends learn in this story? Morty was checking out his library books when it caught his eye. A poster for Adventure Rocks Mouse Camp. Check it out! Morty called to Ben and Fred as he grabbed 3 brochures and scrambled to catch up with his best buddies. They all stopped, books in paws, to stare at the pictures of mice flying above crayons suspended from zip lines. They instantly believed that brochure's headline, "Summer won't be complete until you take it to the limit at Adventure Rocks Mouse Camp." Ben broke his silence. We have less than 2 weeks until a registration opens, and it says the camp fill up fast. I have an idea, Morty announced. Tonight we all talk to our parents. It will take our best pitch ever to persuade them to let us go and to pay for it. The mice all nodded. Morty scratched his ear. Let's all report back in the morning. Ben, Fred, and Morty were munching on crispy cheese squares in Morty's kitchen the next morning as they summarized the situation. Morty needed to earn the entire amount for 6 days at camp. Ben's parents offered to pay for half the price if Ben earned the other half. Fred's mother had no problem letting him go to camp, but she couldn't pay for it, and Fred had to leave camp 2 days early for a family reunion. Let's figure this out, Morty said, grabbing a pencil. Camp was $500 for a whole week, or $100 per day if you stay less than 6 days. Morty added up the total cost. Okay, we need to earn $1,150 in 2 weeks, Morty said with a sigh. We usually noisy friends sat quietly staring at the sun. Then an idea popped into Morty's head. Why don't we sell lemonade and snacks by the side of the road? We can pool our allowance saving to buy supplies. That's a great idea, Ben said. Everyone get their savings and meet back here right away, Morty said. Ben, Fred, and Morty returned to Morty's kitchen to count their combined funds. In total, they had 13 wrinkled dollar bills, 32 quarters, 60 dimes, 63 nickels, and 776 pennies. It was Fred's turn to do the math. 32 times 25 cents equals, said Fred. Wait, said Ben. There's an easier way. Use 32 divided by 4 since there are 4 quarters in $1. Fred continued with the math. Fred started at the number and asked, how will we return $32.91 into $1,150? We can do it, Morty said. Let's take the money and buy lemonades, sugar, and paper cups. We can save our treats from school lunches this week to sell. I'll make you a pan of brownies, his sister offered as she reached for a crispy cheese square. Thanks, Morty said. We should have the sale next Saturday. That is the way that everyone is out and about on Main Street, Ben advised. It's a plan. I have some poster board, so I'll make a sign, Morty offered. I'll buy the lemons, sugar, and cups, Ben volunteered. I'll borrow a table and chairs for my mom, Fred said. By this time next week, we'll be counting our money. Then we can count the days until we take it to the limit. Morty was shouting with excitement. The sun had barely come up on Saturday morning when the mice set up their business. They chose a spot, asking permission for the homeowner, then asked to use her garden hose for water to make lemonade. They had 24 lemons, and it would take 3 for each pitcher of lemonade. They could get 12 cups of lemonade per pitcher. All week they saved the treats from their lunches and begged his friends for their treats too. They had 23 yummy treats to sell. Now the three mice started at the brownie pan and discussed how to cut the brownies. We could do 3 rows of 4, suggested Fred, thinking how he would like a large brownie. No, we should do 4 rows of 4, said Ben. We need to sell lots of brownies. I think we should make it 6 rows of 6, Morty said. That will make some mighty small brownies, Fred argued. Yeah, but do the math, Morty said. We could sell 36 brownies instead of 12. You're right, Fred agreed. The brownies would be fair size for a fair price. Morty hung the sign. Then Ben sorted the change from shopping into the muffin tin that Brad bought. They would need to make change for their customers. Morty was too busy greeting the first customer to do the math. A little calculation would have saved them from being surprised shortly after noon when Ben announced, "We only have 1 row of brownies left," as he held up a not so big pile of bills. We only have 4 cookies left, too. And we used the last 3 lemons on these pitchers, Fred added. Morty looked at the small pile of bills. We can't give up now, he thought. There was only one thing to do, he decided. Make their inventory go further. Ben, cut each of those brownies into 4ths. If they are 6 now, we can get 24 by dividing the ones we have. Fred, when the pitcher gets down to 1/4 full, just fill it to the top with the water hose. I don't know how to stretch the cookies into more. They're so stale they'll probably crumble if we cut them. Morty was thinking out loud. I'll change the sign and make the 5s into 8s and charge 80 cents for the treats and lemonade. Fred was refilling the pitcher with water for the 3rd time when they sold the last of the treats. With only 2 brownies left and 2 hours until sundown, Morty decided to cut the last 2 brownies into quarters, making each brownie the size of a quarter. After all, this was their last chance to try and make the money they needed for camp. Just as Morty finished cutting the brownies, a vehicle rounded the corner. Morty saw the mouse, a minivan with his father at the wheels and his family inside. They pulled up to the curb, and his brothers and sisters jumped out. Each clutching a coin or 2, they were eager to support their brothers' bustling business. Morty's father brought the last of the brownies and drank the last drop of watered-down lemonade. Morty wanted to hide. Morty, can I speak with you over here? His father motioned Morty over to the minivan. He had the brownies in the palm of one hand and was clutching his cup of lemonade in the other. Son, have you been taking money from our friends and neighbors for these? He asked. Now, there is one thing about Morty. He always tells the truth. Yes, Morty looked at his toes. His father waited for further explanation. This morning, we set fair prices for good products. But we were running out of lemons and brownies, so we kept trying to make what we had to go further. This afternoon, customers were grumbling as they walked away. Morty, your integrity in our community is much more important than a week at camp, his father said. It was unfair to charge so much for so little. Morty felt terrible. He took down the sign and sat with Ben and Fred. 3rd-grade mice don't cry over weak lemonade, he thought as his tears welled up in his eyes. Let's get together in this morning and count the money in the muffin tin. I doubt we have enough money for camp, but I am sure that we need to do something to make it up to mice we ripped off. The next morning, Morty sat with Ben and Fred around the table in Morty's kitchen counting their earnings. All three mice looked green. Ben was the first to speak. Wow, I thought we made lots more than that. At that rate, we would have to have lemonade stands for 10 Saturdays to get enough money for camp. What's up? Morty's father asked as he eyed a cheese pastry onto the table. The green-faced mice didn't answer. Father took a bite and, looking from face to face, quipped, "Has the cat got your tongue?" Morty spoke up. "I have an idea." Ben and Fred looked up. Usually Morty's ideas weren't to be shared with the grown-up around. Next Saturday is supposed to be a really warm day. Let's use the money to earn to offer free treats at another roadside stand. Maybe some of the same mice we unfairly charged this weekend will get free treats next weekend, Morty said. That's a really nice idea, Morty's father said. Ben, Fred, and Morty bought more lemons, sugar, and cups. They shopped for brownies and cooked ingredients, which Morty's sister showed them how to bake. Morty's sister showed them how to bake. Morty made a new sign that read, "Free brownies, cookies, and lemonade." By Saturday morning, they were ready. They set up their stand in the same spot and were soon swamped with customers. The surprised mice smiled broadly as they walked away with a treat and cup of lemonade. Morty felt like he could skip all around. One mouse waiting in the line asked what they were giving away treats for free. "Well, we were trying to raise money for Adventure Rock Mouse Camp," but Morty said before he was interrupted. "Oh, well, I did that when I was your age," one mouse said. "How great," said another. "Here, I'd like to donate $10 for your reservation fees." A third mouse said. Soon all the mice in line were offering money. Morty, Ben, and Fred knew they needed to show they were grateful. In the middle of the afternoon, then they ran out of lemonade, brownies, and cookies, but somehow they had collected a huge piles of donated cash. "Your customers were generous today," Morty's father said when he collected the mice in the mouse minivan. "I hope you appreciate with their kindness." Morty looked at Ben and Fred, whose grins stretched from ear to ear. That evening, Morty, Fred, and Ben counted the donations in Morty's kitchen. 298, 299, 300. Fred said as he placed the last bill on the table. Morty's ears perked up. $300 means that each of them could go to camp for one day and take the ultimate adventure hike, crossing the Crayon zip line, or rappelling from the rocks and shooting the rapids in a raft. "Wow," Ben said. "Yeah," agreed Morty and Fred. "Your customers understood you were trying to make right what you had done wrong." Morty's father sat from the doorway, grinning with pride at Morty. "Let's take it to the limit," Morty said to his best buddies.